are continuing our tradition of giving out awards before they happen because we're good like that. We're talking superlatives here on the site. Lauren Shahadi, Ken Berger, our NBA columnist, and we were talking most improved, starting with Russell Westbrook. 16 assists last night. I love assists, Ken.
Yeah, and that's really the reason I have him there. I reserve the right to change my mind on this because Corey Brewer, who I have second, has really improved more statistically. But Russell Westbrook, I give him the nod now because he's become a really steady leader on a playoff team. Oklahoma City, nobody really expected them to be this good this soon. And, of course, Kevin Durant's a big reason for that. But I think the second biggest reason is Russell Westbrook. He's been an outstanding floor leader for them. Has gone from a guy who really was trying to figure out how to impact the game with getting his own shot. Now he's figured out a way to do that by setting up his teammates. And I think you have to give, when you do these awards, you have to give credit to the guys who have been on winning teams and have been a big reason for their team's success.
Well, you already gave credit to Corey Brewer. He can shoot, and it didn't always seem that way, Ken.
No, I mean, he's probably the most improved shooter in the league this year. His first 2 years in the league, he had 12 three-pointers. He's at 76 and counting now, and the first 2 years, 20 games with 10 or more points. Now he's got 54 games in double figures. So he's really improved across the board. It's mostly been, from opportunity as well, but also he's worked really hard on his shooting. He's worked hard on his technique, and it's really shown up. I mean, he's not been on a winning team, obviously, but he's a guy who statistically has improved in every area, and that's exactly what you look for when you look at guys for this award.
Sure, and let's talk about Andrew Bogut. He's injured, but pre-injury, he'd really become that interior force that you hoped he would be.
He really has. I mean, his scoring average had got before he got hurt, and he's out for the year now, obviously, with that terrible injury we saw Saturday night. His scoring average is up about 5 points a game, but that's not really the story with him. His impact has really been felt, and his improvement has really been felt on the defensive end. He's gone from 1 block a game to 2.5. And, that's another thing that I look for in these awards. I look for guys who have done things that are kind of beyond, under the radar, maybe don't necessarily show up in the statistics, but people who have really risen their game and taken their team to a level that nobody expected. And I think that's why it's so unfortunate that Andrew's hurt, and that's really going to hurt Milwaukee in the playoffs. But up until this point, he had been really stellar for them all year.
But, Ken, there's nothing under the radar about Josh Smith's nickname. What is going on there? It's kind of awkward.
Jay Smooth. Come on, Jay Smooth. What's the matter with that?
Smooth. It's not even, it's for our viewers out there, it's not even smooth, T-H, right, Ken?
Right, it's S-M-O-O-V-E. He picked that up as a high school player in the Atlanta area, and somehow it's stuck. And
well, he needs to drop it.
I'm sure he's now been advised, and we'll see what happens. I don't think that's going to happen though. They really love their Jay Smooth down in Atlanta, and he's been a huge reason why this Hawks team is a team that really nobody wants to see in the first couple of rounds. They're really a complete team now, and I think Josh Smith has become more of a complete player. He was a guy who would just come down and shoot pointless threes constantly, and it drove Mike Woodson crazy. He's really curtailed that this year. He's cut way down on his three-point attempts, hardly ever takes them. He still is a guy that will do things that are a little bit, of a head scratcher if you're a head coach, but he's a guy, his impact on the defensive end has been a major reason why the Atlanta Hawks are going to be a dangerous team in the playoffs.
Ken Berger, I'm going to think of a nickname for you, and it's going to blow Jay Smooth out of the water. So just to be determined, okay?
All right, I'll be tuned in to find out what you come up with.
And you tune into CBSSports.com as well. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon.